Hi everybody. So, yeah, this is clearly my first time on here anyways, so this is going to be Super Mario 74. If you're wondering what that game is, it's one of the older ROM hacks from all the way back in 2011. It was created by Logmalord, and we're just going to kind of show off what this game has to offer, starting right about now.
It's me, Mario.
Alrighty.
Hello. Okie dokie.
So, as you can see, this is one of the first ROM hacks to have entirely custom levels. So, this is a pretty expansive hack compared to the original game, and I'm going to be running the 110 star category, which is basically any percent, no major skips, basically the same as 70 star from the original game. There's actually 151 stars in the game total, so we're going to be seeing a decent majority of the game in this run, actually. So as you can see, we're already 1 star down. This game does go by, it's a bit more fast-paced than the original SM64, just because the levels aren't quite as expansive. And I'm going to be getting this star in a completely unintended way. So you're actually supposed to use the metal cap here, but if you take a crazy box into water, it just kind of becomes inert. And then I can reactivate it by resurfacing and use it to get up here. So that saves a little bit of time, and it's also one of the cooler strats. That is a mechanic present in the original SM64 as well, but it's never really used for anything. So for the most part in these stages, I'm going to be getting basically every star except for the red coins and 100 coins, because coin collecting missions in this game tend to take a very long time. But there's still going to be a few. It becomes inert. I mean, by that I mean it becomes inactive. It basically just doesn't do anything. Alright. So this star is probably going to look a little bit funky. So this is an instance of a ceiling down warp. You've probably seen that if you've watched speedruns of the original game. Basically, when Mario is in water, ceiling hitboxes move him downwards, and that floor is really steep, and so it has a really thin hitbox, so you can just kind of swim through it. And then the ceiling hitbox at the cave just downwarps you all the way down into it. I'll actually be doing a similar thing on this star. Although it might take a little bit. There we go. It doesn't save as much time on this star, but it's still slightly faster. And I just missed the star. Okay.
Here we go.
Alright, so there we go. That's Azure Abyss done. Like I said, I'm mostly just going to be ignoring red coins and 100 coins, but there's some coin collecting stars that will be done. Next up we have Skyward Slopes, which weirdly uses the title screen music. So you can probably already tell by now, but most of the stars in this game aren't necessarily like standard missions. It's more so just get to a certain part in the level, and then there's just a star rewarding you for your efforts. This is a bit more of a primitive ROM hack, so there's not a whole lot that can be done in terms of like new mechanics. Instead, we get a lot of really hardcore platforming.
Here we go.
Also, I'm pretty sure stars 3 and 6 have their names switched, because you'll notice the next star I'm going to get is called the Outer Wall, even though it's not really on the outer wall. And in case you're wondering what all the random clacking is, I'm actually playing this on a keyboard. And if you're wondering how the heck that's even possible, the current world record for this category is on keyboard by SuperViperT302, who is a very, very talented runner of the original game and of ROM hacks as well. I don't remember if he holds all the world records in this game, but I know he holds at least one 10-star and one 51-star. Right, last 2 stars here are going to be pretty simple. You're going to be seeing a lot of block switch stuff in this hack as well. And what I mean by that is these purple switches that create blocks that you have to cross on a timer. That's kind of one way to add flavor to the levels. And just one more star I'm going to be getting here. Oh yeah, I haven't yet mentioned this, but the camera in this hack is absolutely abysmal, and you've probably picked up on that already. This was made back in the early days when custom levels don't really work with Mario 64's regular camera engine. So you pretty much have to be in Mario Cam the entire time, or else the camera just gets really screwed up on you. But even then, it's still not great. There's times where it gets stuck, like if you try to go into a cave or something. So this is actually the first Bowser level, Bowser's Badlands Battlefield. And the secret courses are the main reason why this hack has so many more stars than the original Mario 64, is because the secret courses got a lot of extra stars added to them. So I don't think this is actually what you're intended to do here, but, and also, once again, great camera. The camera also does that sometimes. Whenever there's like a really tall section of the level, it tends to just go underneath Mario. And that makes judging where you are very difficult. So I'm going to be getting all the stars here except for red coins, because unlike the original game, red coin stars always take you out of the level. So it's just not worth the time investment to get them. Alright, I really hope that that's how I was supposed to aim this. Alright, that's good. Aiming cannons is one of the harder things to do on keyboard in this game. Just because without special like adapters or whatever, or like special key functions, basically pressing any direction acts as if you're pressing down the stick at full tilt. So there's not really any room to adjust for like sensitivity and such. Luckily, most of the cannon shots in this game aren't that precise. So you can make them pretty easily. It is a problem in other hacks though. And it also is a problem if you're trying to like set Mario up in a precise position, but there's still ways around that. And as you just saw there's a lot of really devilishly hidden stars. That's something Lucky Lord really likes to do with his hacks. Okay, and now I'm just gonna head straight up to Bowser. So Bowser is pretty much the same as always, with one critical difference being that the palms are now a lot higher. So in case you're wondering how I'm spinning Bowser on keyboard, I'm basically just holding right and mashing left, and that basically is the same. It basically achieves the same effect as just spinning the stick really, really quickly. I don't know why that works, it just does. But it makes spinning Bowser on keyboard a lot easier than having to like mash all 4 directions like a bunch of times. So that's the first key that'll allow me to go onto the second overworld, the Tower of the East. I couldn't remember if it was East or West. And the interesting thing about this second overworld is that it's actually just a secret course in disguise. So as you can tell, it has a coin counter. And it also has a bunch of stars hidden within it. And every one of the stars takes you out of the level, and then you just respawn in that same level anyways. So that makes routing here kind of cool. And it also has red coins. Which thankfully, if you get some red coins and then get another star, it actually saves those red coins. So, again, it allows for some pretty nice routing here. I love how that just happened twice in a row. There we go. So this is going to be one of the few red coin stars I'll actually be getting in this run. Alright, gotta be careful not to fall down here. There we go. And then there's just a star over here. Again, another star you likely would not be able to find on your own. Unless you're really, really thorough. And there we go. So there are more stars here, but that's all I'm going to be getting for right now. Now we're going to start moving on to a couple of secret courses. Do this little fancy series of wall jumps to get all the way up here quickly. And we're going to enter the Lava Switch of Eruption, which is the wing cap course. I'm going to do a text skip here, similar to what you'd see in the original game. You can triple jump off the switch and begin flying, and then you can skip the text by just collecting a star. And then there's another star I'm going to get here. This star is actually a little bit tricky to get with the strat I'm going to use. It's very easy to bonk when trying to do that, and then if you bonk there, it's just instant death. So, very nice to get that. I was trying to long jump there, but I didn't time it quite right. Doesn't lose that much time. So here is the Dust Switch of Identity, which is the Vanish Cap course. And there's star number 1.
Here we go!
Again, have fun trying to find that on your own. Okay, so that thin pathway looks really awful to cross, right? Oh, hey, look, there's a fly guy. And that makes that star way easier and also way faster. So I gotta go over here to hit the Vanish Cap switch, because I'm going to be using it for a grand total of 1 star outside of this stage. But it's a fast star, so it's worth getting. And while this hack doesn't have that much custom music, it does have some. For example, you've probably already noticed that the, that's not good. Alright, I somehow backed that up. You probably noticed that the overworld music is the flip side theme from Super Paper Mario, and that was the Song of Storms. Okay, And this star, you just kind of have to get to the top here, and here's some more great camera work. It just gets stuck on the walls.
Here we go!
You just kind of have to learn to adjust to the camera and adapt to it and figure out how to do movement even when it screws up on you. Oh boy, that's not good. That's another issue that a keyboard tends to have, is getting precise angles. And really, I should not have messed that up, I'm just bad. But because I'm using the arrow keys, I'm basically just confined to 8 directions, and you can kind of get around that, but it's not the easiest thing in the world. And I was also trying to play a little bit faster than I should have there. But anyways, we're out of that level now. And yes, there is a star on that slope. So here's the frozen slide, and I'm actually going to be getting all 4 stars from here. I'm going to start by going for a strat that I do not normally attempt in runs. Oh! I do not normally attempt that strat. Yeah, that saves like 8 seconds or something over doing that star the intended way, and it is ridiculously hard. Like, it's probably, if it's not frame perfect, it's super close to it. So, can't believe I got that. It's ridiculously hard. I think hitting that is like a less than 10% chance for me. And then I'm gonna get the red coins, which are pretty fast in this level. But really, this red coin star is only worth getting on the fixed warps version, because as you saw getting back to this level takes so long usually that it's just not worth going for the star, even though it's fast on the regular version. But on the fixed warps version, you can definitely afford it. And as you saw, there's a star at the bottom of the slide, and I can... Classic slide shortcuts.
Here we go!
There's just one more star in the slide, and you're never going to be able to guess where it is. See that little platform down there? Yeah, another instance of brilliant star placement by Lugmalord. And there happens to be a star right on top of this hut, so I can just get that after finishing that level. So next we're going to go to Course 4, System of a Town. This is kind of a nice little town level. And the stars here have some really cool strats. So that's not the intended way to get that star. You're supposed to go into the sewer system and do a bunch of swimming and platforming. But instead, you can just wall jump up the side of the building. I'm actually going to be going for another slightly more complicated sewer skip on this star. This is actually a somewhat tricky strat. So I can get onto this slope by doing that series of jumps, and there just happens to be no invisible wall here, so I can just jump over there to where this star is. And again, that is not the intended way to get that star. In fact, honestly, very few of the stars in this run you get the intended way. And the last 3 stars here are pretty fast.
Here we go!
So as you can tell by that title, just find the secret room. You probably wouldn't be able to find that without the use of a guide or just bubbling around the level.
Here we go!
And then just, this is the final star I'm getting here. Like I said, this level goes by pretty quickly. Also, the collision of this house is great.
Here we go!
Okay. So this is going to be the Haunted Factory. I'm actually going to be getting 6 stars here because the 100 coin star is actually relatively fast here. And you'll see how that is in just a second. Also, we've got frantic factory music. So these are the blocks of doom. I actually lied. You actually use the Vanish Cap for 2 stars in this level. I forgot about this one.
Here we go!
But yeah, again, the block kicking up to that block like I did was not intended. I actually skipped a whole other section of blocks that you're supposed to climb up. So I'm just gonna kind of go in here and start getting some coins. Because there's a little hidden passageway here, and it takes you to a blue coin switch that just gives off like 80 coins. So yeah, if there's any 100 coin star worth collecting in this category, it's that one. Because as you can see, I'm already done.
Here we go!
And I can pretty easily chain it into another star. Gotta go for a difficult jump here. That jump honestly isn't as difficult or scary as it may seem. It's just that you kind of you have a very narrow window to time the wall kick, and the camera doesn't, as always, doesn't do you a whole lot of favors. Alright, for the next 2 stars, I'm actually going to be climbing up to the top of the factory. I had a lag spike there that ate my triple jump, and I'm probably dead. Surprisingly, I'm not. Okay, let's... There we go.
Here we go!
That could have gone worse, but it also could have gone better. So I gotta do that climb again, because there's actually another star up there. Nice. So that was a lot better. the vantage cap here to get through that wall, where there's yet another hidden star. Again, as I said at the start of this run, most of the stars are not necessarily like standard missions or anything. It's just a matter of getting to a certain part of the level. Which, to be fair, most of the stars in the original SM64 were like as well. A level like TikTok Clock comes to mind.
Here we go!
So I've got one more star in this overworld level to get for right now, and then I'm going to be heading back to the first overworld to take care of everything that's left there.
Here we go!
Also, since this is technically a level and not actually part of the overworld, you can access the pause menu. Which means I can use exit course to get back here a little bit faster. And this is the toxic switch of danger, aka the metal cap course. And the camera here is so bad because this entire level is in toxic gas. So if you attempt to go into Mario Cam, the camera just goes super high above Mario, so you pretty much have to stay in Latitude Cam the entire time. But that camera is awful as well, so expect a lot of weird, funky camera behavior. And since this is such a tightly small and compact level, I'm actually going to be going for the red coins here. Okay, I'm gonna go for another tech skip here using this, Okay, so I messed that up. So I'm actually gonna be going for the tech skip on a different star then.
Here we go!
Alright, this is actually kind of hard to do because you're basically just doing a blind jump. I was trying to jump off that switch and then jump into one of the holes down there that actually contains the star. I didn't get the jump off the switch.
Here we go!
Alright, last two stars here are thankfully really easy. So I went into Mario Cam there just so you could see how bad the camera is when you go into Mario Cam.
Here we go!
Okay, so that's all 5 stars in that level. Again, because it's such a small level, everything there is pretty quick to get. And now I can finally enter course 1, which is Dice Fortress. Several stars in this level require the wing cap, so that's why I didn't do this course before. So this star is kind of an interesting idea. There's a box on these islands that's really high up. And the idea to get this star is you have to start your flight from a really high point. Such as the top of that little structure there. And again, this is not how you're supposed to get up here. There's, again, a little purple switch that activates some blocks that you're supposed to use to get up to this part of the level. I don't know if this opinion would be shared by everybody, but I would honestly say that for this hack, strats are actually a little bit more important than movement, or at the very least being efficient at your platforming. Because again, platforming is a really, really big part of this hack. And obviously, movement is still important. But I would say it's maybe not as important as it is in the original game. This start can be a little bit weird. There's just a box in over there, and you're supposed to find a way to get to it. I don't know if that's the intended way. You can also just jump to the box from above. By reaching it from below is slightly faster. There we go.
Here we go!
It's a pretty simple level, all things considered, but it is course 1, so that makes sense. And then here's the 30-star door, which I now have more than enough stars to get behind. There's 2 levels behind here, as well as a Bob-on Buddy. So this next course, Stalagmite Cave, is a really cool level. There's a lot of really cool strats here. Nice, I got that first try. That is a somewhat awkward series of wall jumps to do.
Here we go!
But it basically skips an entire climb up to get to that star. And then I'm gonna do another kind of big skip here. Just a couple lava boosts is enough to get you there.
Here we go! Go.
So the next star I'm going to do here is another really cool one. It involves combining the metal cap and the wing cap. And if you pay very close attention here, you'll notice that the wings have some sort of like metallic texture. That is not a property of this hack. If you were to combine the wing cap and metal cap in the original game, the wings would have this texture as well, but there's no course in the game that lets you do that.
Here we go!
And you can kind of see how both caps are supposed to be utilized there.
Go.
So I don't know if lava boosting to reach the star like this is faster than going on the swamps, but at least this way you don't have to deal with swamp RNG.
Go.
Yeah, sorry if I don't really have a whole lot to say. A lot of these stars I feel like kind of speak for themselves.
Here we go!
We'll get into some cool stuff later, though. So here's Ice Crystal Tower, the obligatory snow level. And this is one of the few levels in the game that's actually somewhat linear. And it's sort of just supposed to be a big mountain, and that is not good. Okay. I managed to salvage that somehow.
Here we go!
Accidentally hitting lava like that can be really scary. So as a result of the level being super linear and kind of long, I'm not going to be getting that many stars here. Although climbing up as the mountain, as you can see, doesn't actually take as long as you'd expect. It's just that having to do it multiple times wouldn't really be all that cool. And it's also not that fast.
Here we go!
So that star, as you'll see, is named almost to the top. And I'm actually going to be getting the star that requires climbing all the way to the very top because I can actually pair it with the 100 coin star. And this might seem like a weird choice for a star to include in this route, but you'd be surprised how fast this is. Because there's actually quite a surplus of coins in the levels that you can get as you're climbing all the way up. So much so that I'm basically just going to be skipping over a bunch of coins. And what I did there with that womp is also in the original game. If you go off a womp and back on it up to 5 times, you can get additional coins. It's just that, again, that's never used in any coin routes in the original game. I gotta use the wing cap to climb up the rest of this tower. You actually can get up here without the wing cap, but it's a little bit easier if you use it. And at the very top, there's a blue coin switch, and that's how I'll get the remaining coins here. Assuming I don't miss them. Yeah, both stars combined only take about 1.5 minutes, which is relatively fast for this category.
Here we go!
So that's all I'm going to be getting there for this level. There's actually another star that is, with the optimal strategy, is definitely fast enough to be in the run, but the strat is stupidly hard and inconsistent. And there's absolutely no way I would ever go for that strat in a marathon or even a regular run. But you can watch the world record if you want to see what I mean. Anyway, so there's a Toad Star. And then on top of this little central tower here is Mips, who does not try to run away from you. There's a couple of easy stars right there. And now it's time for the desert level, Overheating Oasis. After I do an unnecessary amount of bonking and falling off ledges. So this is another level that kind of benefits from the fixed warps, because normally in the original version you would have to take the cannon back up to this course after every single star. So there's a couple stars in here that are fast, but just would not be worth it in 110 star, but I can do them here. And we are continuing with the theme of stars hidden in really devilish locations.
Go.
Couple of movement hiccups there, but that was a solid star.
Here we go.
Navigating through very narrow, small corridors like that, when having to zoom in the camera and deal with all that nonsense, especially if you're playing on keyboard, it can be kind of fickle. Also, that triple jump that I'm using to get up to that higher ledge faster is a lot harder than it looks. I'm going to be taking a slightly different pathway. So I messed that up, so that's probably gonna kind of bite me. I'll just go for a triple jump to be safe. And that was incredibly stupid of me. Depth perception is not your friend in SM64. This section is so awkward. There we go. That star is so hard to get. And then here's a hilariously quick star. That I just failed. You're actually supposed to use a switch, another switch hidden in the little maze there in order to get a block to spawn. He's actually saying, let's go. And then here's the second MIPS, which spawns after 50 stars. And after I get this MIPS star and save, I'm actually going to intentionally reset the game. And there is a very specific reason why I'm doing that. For one thing, it puts me back here, which is in a convenient spot in order to get on top of this building, where there just so happens to be another toad. But resetting like that is actually mandated for the route in this run to work out. Because it's kind of weird, but I'll explain it later. Anyway, so now I'm done with everything I need to get in the first overworld, so we're gonna go back here and finish this up. And this is the final star in this overworld.
Here we go.
Alright. So this star door leads to the second Bowser level, Bowser's Aquatic Castle. And we're gonna start off with a really funky strat of just climbing up that pillar.
Here we go.
And I should probably mention, even though Mario gets out a key whenever he does that little exit, you don't actually get the key until you actually fight Bowser. It's just an animation thing. invisible wall. There's not that many of those in this hack, but they are prevalent. Right. That's a pretty scary jump, because if you miss that, then you fall into the water and you lose like a minute. Because it takes forever to swim out of there and get all the way back up. And again, I'm not getting the red coin star here because the red coins at this level actually take like over 2 minutes. Because they're very spread out. And then the pathway to Bowser is a relatively short one. So this Bowser fight is again mostly the same, except now there's only one bomb, I believe. And also there's a very inconveniently placed flame jet. That was awesome. I was slightly too close to the flame when trying to grab Bowser there. There's a very, like, narrow window you can be in to be within grabbing range of Bowser without also getting burned. Okay. So now I actually do have the second key. One more thing we gotta do is head to this level. This is Flowery Gardens, and routing-wise, it's just better to get it here. This is a very tough level in the speed run. There's a lot of really difficult jumps you have to make. Mainly over in this section of the level. Alright. So I was trying to use that fly guy to twirl up over to that. Over up to a higher ledge where there's a star. But the fly guy did not do exactly what I wanted it to do. And twirling over to that platform is actually not the fastest way to do that. But there's actually like a little slope on the edge that you can just kind of long jump across, but it's super easy to fall down if you do that, so I just did the fly guy straight out to safety. There we go.
Here we go!
There's a couple other ways you can get up to that higher platform early, but that's a relatively easy one.
Go.
Alright. That is another very awkward series of jumps to get to that star. It's kind of hard to tell what you're doing sometimes.
Go.
So here we have a fight against King Bob-omb, and the gimmick here, as you can see, is that the platform you have to fight him on is really small. So, and you also can't throw him off, so that makes the fight a little bit harder. And there's also a fire spitter here, which which you can actually use to speed up each hit by getting burned. But as you can see, it doesn't make it that much harder.
Here we go!
And then try and guess where the last star I'm getting in this level is going to be. Okay, I'm actually going to go for a kind of cool strat here because this is a marathon. So this is not, again, this is awesome. This is not how you're intended to get this star, but you can just kind of do that. There's just a hidden little wall that you can go through in order to get into that cave. But it's also possible to just down warp into it like that. That's actually, I think, slower than doing it the normal way, but it doesn't lose that much time, so I figured I might as well go for it. Alright, and here's the third overworld, and we're gonna start off with the Swampy Spring. So this Koopa the Quick race is the reason why I reset the game earlier. Older ROM hacks have a weird bug where entering some levels causes objects that use waypoints for their pathing to basically just break. So if I hadn't reset the game after, in this course, entering Stalagmite Cave, which was course 6, is the problem, and it basically just causes Koopa's pathing to just completely break. So if I didn't reset the game, Koopa the Quick would never be able to finish the race, and this start would be impossible.
Here we go!
And the only way to fix it is to reset the ROM. So that's the easy star of this level. The rest of them are actually kind of tricky. Because falling down loses a bunch of time. Alright, you basically need that heave-ho to be stopped in order to get up onto that ledge properly. Because even when you're on that little tiny platform underneath it, it can still heave you.
Hegel.
This is another very tricky star to do. Okay, you can't ledge grab on that second box, otherwise you won't be able to get enough momentum to reach the third one.
Hegel.
Here's another one of those stars that is not exactly easy to find. Kinda have to notice that there's those little platforms sticking out of the wall there.
Hegel.
And that was a really clean level. It is super easy to lose a bunch of time on the stars in that level, so I'm really glad that went well. Basically, falling down from that big, like, series of platforms at the top of the level at all is just, like, a massive time loss. And here's the third and final Toad star of the game.
Here we go! Here we go!
And now I'll be heading to course 12, the Cliff of Wrath, which I must point out has the acronym COW, or COW, so go ahead and get your cow jokes out of the way. And this is another course that benefits from fixed warps. I'm actually going to be getting 5 stars in here, whereas on the non-fixed warps version, it would only really be worth it to get 3.
Here we go!
Alright, next I'm going to be going for one of the cooler strats in this run. It's a little bit precise, though. Nice. So that is not how you're meant to get into that little alcove there. There's a vanish cap higher up on the cliff that you're supposed to grab in order to get through the fire, but it's just barely possible to kick above the fire and break the box that way. And that saves a lot of time on that star. So for some jumps, like the one to that first pillar there, I sometimes intentionally try to aim for the ledge grab, because Mario's momentum in this game tends to cause him, like, if you make a jump and you still have momentum, Mario can sometimes just run off the edge and die. So sometimes going for the ledge grab, even if it's slower, is a little bit safer. And then these next 2 stars you wouldn't see done in the non-fixed warps version of this category, because climbing up this cliff just takes too long to justify having to travel all the way back to that pipe every single time. But since you spawn next to the pipe in this version, then the stars are definitely fast enough. And then there's just a fight with King Boo here for no discernible reason.
Here we go! Hegel!
So that's the vanish cap that I should have used for the problematic box star, but I was able to skip it. And then, once again, stars hidden in locations that are hard to find right away. So now I'm going to take this wing cap and go over to a little challenge course known as the Champions Challenge. There is technically only 1 star in this level. There's actually 2, but one of them is only accessible by going through the final Bowser level. Also, I hope your right ear enjoys this level. So this is basically just a little platforming course.
Here we go!
Very short star, and also a very fun one. Okay, here is Sunny Beach. So, it's not that bad in this category, but in 151 star, this level is terrible. This is one of the more infamous levels in SM64 ROM hacking history because it has exactly 100 coins in it. So you need to get every coin in the stage, and Logmalord went out of his way to make it one of the hardest 100 coin stars ever. I'm not kidding you, the star takes like 6 minutes to do. And so obviously I'm not going to be doing it in this run. Besides the 100 coin star, the level isn't that bad. All of the star names are all kind of switched around so that you basically don't get a hint as to where they are.
Here we go! Go!
So this is actually one of the friendlier levels in terms of the camera and Lakitu cam, because it uses a setting known as parallel cam, where the camera basically always stays along a given axis. It's very similar to the types of cameras you'd see in the Bowser stages in the original game or in Rainbow Ride. So that actually makes Lakitu cam a good camera to use in Sunny Beach.
Go!
And then this last star is a kind of funny one. There's just an alcove underneath that bridge. And that's all for that level. So now I get to go to this little temple area, and this is where the last few courses will be. Starting with Molten Treasure Chest. Another little lava-based level. So we got a tricky flight to start off this course with. Okay, so you need to fly into that tunnel with a ridiculous amount of speed in order to be able to get high enough to reach that platform. So it's nice to get that star out of the way. Also, every single course here has the same, like, spawner point for star exits, and for some reason it places Mario right in front of the door that leads to course 15. So you basically have to do a jump kick off the door in order to not automatically open the door when you start moving. Alright, I am amazed that I did not bog or fall into the lava there.
Here we go!
Flying at high speeds is very tricky, especially with keyboard controls.
Go!
Here's another tricky star to do. If my jumps wouldn't get eaten, that would be a bit helpful. For this star, you gotta go into this cave. And that is a lot tighter than it looks because ceiling hitboxes extend downwards a bit more than they do visually. So you basically have like almost no room there. And if you fail to make it under, then you just get comboed in the lava and die. Alright. So I'm actually going to be doing the 100 coin star here as well. This level actually has the most coins out of every main course in the game at 255. And as a matter of fact, that's actually the maximum coin score that can be saved in this game. If this course had just one more coin, you would not be able to save the maximum coin score because it's only stored with 8 bits. So it can only go from 0 to 255. And part of the reason why this course has so many coins is, for one, you have all these coin rings on top of this on top of these mountains here that can give you a bunch of coins. And then there's also 2 blue coin switches in this level. So just because of the easy nature and getting all the coins, that makes this another fast 100 coin star to get. This last blue coin switch is kind of difficult though. Okay. I would have liked to have gotten 1 more blue coin there, but that's not a huge deal. I just have to go a little bit out of my way to get the final few coins.
Here we go!
And also the secret stars here is pretty fast. So it makes it a very decent combination. And that's going to be the last coin collecting star I'm doing in the run. Like I said, there's not that many coin collecting missions that are fast enough for 110 star.
Go.
So for this star, I actually need to open the cannons. I believe you're actually supposed to use the cannons in conjunction with the wing cap in order to actually get on these mountains. But this little kicking trick also works. And there's triple digits. And at this point, the game takes a massive difficulty spike. Because these last 2 main courses are a lot more difficult than any of the other levels we've seen so far. So I'm actually going to be doing course 15 first, Ombrisphere. So courses 14 and 15 sort of follow the theme of the stone tower from the Majora's Mask, where course 14 is a certain level, and then this is actually course 14 but upside down. And this course is a good deal harder to navigate than course 14 is, but thankfully most of the stars can be reached just from the very beginning. And these courses are meant to like really test your platforming abilities.
Go.
Okay. It is actually possible to skip these jumps around this little castle here, but I'm just, for safety reasons, going the long way around. It only saves a handful of seconds anyways.
Go.
So again, most of the stars in this level are actually kind of fast, except for the coin collecting missions, but obviously I won't be doing those. Okay, this next star is called Intense Challenge, and you'll see very quickly why that is. So the easy part is getting over here, where there's just 5 secrets all in one spot. But now getting to the star is the hard part, and I'm going to be doing it in not the intended way. So again, that is not the intended way to get to that star, but it is significantly easier. Because I believe the intended way to get the star requires a 2-frame window on a wall kick. And then this star is dumb. Nice, I got that first try. So there's an act-specific wing cap that spawns that allows you to get that star. It's just barely possible and a lot faster to get it without the wing cap. And trust me when I say that is way harder than I made it look. But it does save like 30 seconds or something. Then here's Luminium Sphere. This is the original version of that level. So as I mentioned earlier, whenever like you have super tall levels like this, the camera tends to just go underneath Mario. So for those like big wall jumping sections, you actually want to be in Lakitu cam, because the camera's at least somewhat more helpful there.
Hegel.
And this is another tricky star to do. And once again, I'm doing a big skip for it.
Here we go.
Again, not how you're supposed to do that, but also a very difficult strat to do, because it's sometimes you kind of have to control your height, and then also once you make it onto the slope, you have to be careful to not slide off.
Hegel.
Okay, that was a little bit scarier because I wasn't sure if I was gonna make it onto that ledge. It's very hard to predict how that series of wall jumps will go.
Hegel.
Okay, that's not, yeah. I think that's my first death of the run. I had a deathless run going, so a little unfortunate, but
Hegel.
at least it was a relatively short one. Okay. So for these boxes here, when you're wall kicking here, you actually want to avoid getting first frame wall kicks, because that causes you to kind of get stuck underneath the box, and that usually results in you falling down and dying.
Here we go.
Right, one more star.
Hegel.
Okay, so I should explain what just happened there. So, there's a hotkey for this emulator where if you press Control and C together, then it brings up the Game Shark Cheats menu. I don't know how to disable it. And for my keyboard setup, okay, what was that? That's a classic that's never happened before moment. I bonked on like the corner and it wouldn't let me wall kick. But yeah, so on my keyboard setup, left control is B and C is R. So sometimes if I press those two buttons too close together, it just brings up the cheats menu and pauses the game. Alright, let's try that again. Oh, I was expecting a ledge grab there. I wasn't ready for Mario to just make the jump.
Mamma mia.
This is actually one of the easier stars in the level. But
Hegel.
I think the nerves are getting to me. There we go. There we go. So that was unfortunate. But like I said, the sphere levels are very, very hard. And having to do them at the very end of the run, there's a lot of pressure that's on you. But now we have enough stars to enter the final Bowser level legitimately. So this is Bowser's Crystal Palace, and this is supposed to be like a super long gauntlet where you go through one path, and then you go through another path, and you get to a Bob-omb Buddy, and the Bob-omb Buddy lets you open a cannon that ultimately lets you reach the end. Except I'm not going to do any of that. Oh, I tried to adjust there so that I could safely jump out of that hole, but again, keyboard sensitivity, Mario just kind of acts as if I press the stick down all the way. There we go. So that skip saves like well over 2 minutes. So yeah. And it's pretty tricky to do because the camera doesn't really do you a whole ton of favors, and you can't really tell what you're doing, and it's such a small space. And then here's the final Bowser fight. As you can tell, it's already in the shape of a star. And there's added fire. Alright, there we go. So the ending of this run could have been a little bit better, but I think that was still a pretty decent showcase of the game. So as always, time ends when you touch the final star. And there you go. 1:17:40, that's a little over 3 minutes off my PB. I was actually within a minute of PB going into Luminium Sphere. And then stuff happened. But there you go, that's Super Mario 74. A very, very fun speed game once you get past the difficulty curve to it. But a lot of really cool tricks. Definitely check out other runs of this game. The world record in this category is pretty insane. And also check out 151 Star. That's also a really fun category. And yeah, thanks for letting me show this game off. This is actually the very first ROM hack I ever played, and the first ROM hack I learned to speedrun. So glad I finally got to revisit it and do another showcase of it for you guys. So I will see you later in the marathon with a game that you might find a little bit unusual, but we'll get there. So yeah, thanks for watching.